China's DeepSeek AI completely destroys US AI. What the heck is going on? Let's talk about it. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much once again joining me for tea time. Today, we have a little bit of fireside. So good, so good. I hope you're joining me with your cup of tea, maybe a cup of coffee, hanging out, talking tech, talking photo, talking video. Today is a technology day. We're going to be speaking about AI, specifically DeepSeek AI, the CCP or the Chinese version of our Google or a Meta or OpenAI, ChatGPT or whatnot. And what we're hearing is it's better. Not only is it better, guys, it is open source. What the heck is going on? So I was reading a bunch of articles and I summarized them and put them all together. I want to read this to you, but then more importantly, I want to give you some commentary and kind of break this down a little bit because I think that all of these articles are just not getting it. They don't get it. They don't understand how big this really is. All right. I want to break that down a little bit because, you know, being in the industry for over 30 years, I can tell you I've seen a lot come and go. And this is a big deal, a really, really big deal for everyone, for you and I, for the stock market, for the economy, for our military, for everything. It is a really big deal. Anyways, before we get into this story, I want to say that if you enjoy the content, throw it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and most importantly, share. Share it with your friends, family, community. Share the channel, share the video. That helps out a lot. Also, if you want more Starlink specific content, I put together over 400 videos just for you. Helpful how-tos, tips, tricks, what to do, what not to do. It's all there. I'll put a link here. Don't click on it yet. There'll be a link here. Go back to it and check that out. Also, if you haven't downloaded any of my ebooks, they're free just for you being here. Go to JCristina.com/books. Once again, JCristina.com/books. And lastly, if you just want to say thank you for all of my hard work, there's a little thank you button right down here. Click on that, give $1 or $2 if you like. If not, it's perfectly fine. Consider becoming a member of the channel. That would be even better. So, now that all the promotion is done, let's jump right into the story. DeepSeek's shadow, a story of privacy and power, the allure of convenience. DeepSeek AI made waves by offering cutting-edge technology at a lower cost than Western rivals, swiftly climbing App Store's charts. Its Model R1 was hailed as, quote, AI's Sputnik moment, signaling a new era in AI from China. However, its privacy policies are deeply concerning. It captures keystroke patterns or rhythms, logging every keystroke, which could reveal intimate details of your life. The policy's vague promise of retaining data, quote, for as long as necessary, lacks clarity. I think it's pretty clear. We're going to keep it as long as we want to. What do you think about that? Under the watchful eye. All this data is stored on servers in China, governed by Chinese law, raising alarms about privacy and security. The claim of, quote, commercially reasonable security isn't convincing, especially with China's tight internet controls, raising the same concerns about government data access as with TikTok. Absolutely the case. The security breach. A significant breach occurred when DeepSeek left a database unprotected, exposing over 1 million lines of sensitive logs, including chat histories and API secrets, giving hackers full control. Global scrutiny. This led to widespread investigations. Italy pulled DeepSeek from the App Store due to GDPR concerns. The US examined national security implications, and Ireland questioned data practices. A ban looms if DeepSeek can't prove compliance with international standards. A lesson for the future. DeepSeek's story is a cautionary tale for the AI industry. The rush towards technological advancement must be balanced with strong privacy and security commitments. It's a reminder of the need for transparency and ethical data use, especially as AI becomes more integrated into our daily lives. A shadow over the future. This isn't just about DeepSeek, it's a warning for all. Just as TikTok faced bans due to its Chinese connection, DeepSeek might too cast a shadow over our digital future. In an era where data is a weapon, its protection is beyond personal. It's a global concern where innovation can turn into invasion. leaving us all exposed to the unseen threats lurking in the shadows. I agree with this. And the only thing that I have with this whole story is it kind of just doesn't get into the meat and potatoes of exactly what is going on here and why this whole DeepSeek thing is so important. So what I did is I dug in a little bit deeper, as I always do. I put together some bullets here, and I want to read them to you because I hope this gives you a better understanding as to why this is so monumental, why they really need to address this and address it immediately. So let's get right into it. DeepSeek's AI impact. The release of DeepSeek AI from China has significantly impacted the US stock market and cryptocurrency. I don't know if you realize this, but it has. Nvidia, for example, has tanked in the last 2 weeks about 20%, just to give you an idea. And all tech in the US has been on a downward spiral ever since DeepSeek. I'll get into that in just a second. Performance and cost. DeepSeek developed a model in 2 months for $5.6 million, which is dramatically less than the billions spent by US tech giants like OpenAI for comparable AI. Now, not just OpenAI, but just think about Meta as well as Google. They spent years and billions of dollars, and this think tank, let's call them in China, did it on $5.6 million. Not years and billions of dollars. 2 months, 5.6 million. Not billion, million. That is very, very notable. Open source versus closed source. DeepSeek operates on an open source model, unlike OpenAI, which keeps its technology closed source. This allows the public access to the code, potentially democratizing AI development. Now, this is an important point, and the reason being is open to closed. Elon Musk has talked about this before. He's always said, listen, I don't trust OpenAI because it is not open. It is closed. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Whereas with this company over there in China, which makes no freaking sense, DeepSeek literally let the entire code go so everyone can read it as of right now. You know exactly what's in it. Now, there could be other nefarious things going on, but I'll get into that also by the end of this video. But keep that in mind. Open source versus closed source. We'll get into money also in just a minute. Capabilities. DeepSeek's AI can build video games, extract reasoning from data, adapt in real time, and predict trends by analyzing YouTube data. Amazing. It excels in chain of thought reasoning, making it particularly good for complex and multi-step problems. This is really important too, because not only does it give you an answer, it breaks down the answer in that chain of thought. Reasoning, let's say, giving you the reason why it's doing each step to come out with a conclusion. It's back to the why behind stuff, not just the how, the why. And it's giving you the why. Really amazing. Efficiency techniques. DeepSeek uses less powerful hardware due to US sanctions, but optimize their processes, employing techniques like mix of expert architecture and 8-bit float point training to achieve high performance. Now, this is very important also. The reason I made this note is because due to the US sanctions, they are not able to use the latest and greatest NVIDIA chips. They can't get them. So they're using old NVIDIA chips to be able to do what they're doing. So they had to squeeze the crap out of those chips and get every little bit out of them, and they were successful. Another extremely important point that wasn't touched on in any of these articles. Market impact. The revelation of DeepSeek's capabilities have led to a significant drop in U.S. tech stock values, questioning U.S. dominance in AI and affecting investors' confidence in companies like NVIDIA. Like I just said previously, NVIDIA went down almost 20% in like a week or two. And a lot of tech industry is doing the same because the investors are saying, man, what is going on here? The US isn't dominating AI? Should I start pulling out of US tech, maybe put my money elsewhere? And that's exactly what's going on. Strategic implications. This development could shift global economic and military power dynamics as AI technology can be used to optimize economies and predict market trends. The reason I put that in there is because the point is that when you have the best AI, there's a lot of things that you can do with it. You don't have to do always something nefarious that we always hear about online. You could do good things too, like predict market trends, like what is going to happen in the next year, in the next month, in the next week, according to this data set. And it's really good at doing it. Just think, the weather industry has been doing it for ages. They take models and they look at it, and that's why they can predict where a hurricane's going to go. They look at all of these models, they come up with this spaghetti thing, and the impact is pretty dead center of that spaghetti model. And the reason being, once again, it's a whole bunch of different models all put together, and then it decides on where this thing is going to go based on history. And that's the same thing that this can do here. But the thing that I see here is not only is it open source, unlike OpenAI, for example, which is a really big thing, but also it is cost effective. I researched this. OpenAI costs $440 per 1 million tokens. Now, tokens are like questions, right? Like if you were to put together a sentence like, how do you do this, right? You end up using like 5-6 tokens. Okay, that's just how it works. So you get 1 million tokens for $440. That's with OpenAI. With DeepSeek, it's 10 cents. I'm not kidding. It's 10 cents for 1 million tokens. That's a 97% reduction. That is a massive, massive reduction. So let's say you were going to use 1 million tokens per month. It would cost you $44 in comparison to $1. You follow me? It is just unbelievable. And with all of the testing that has been done, it is beating OpenAI, the ChatGPT, the latest model. It's been beating Meta. It's been beating the Google, everything. It's been beating it right across the board. There's only a couple of things that it falls short of or possibly are on par, but the majority of it, it's doing better. How in the hell are they able to write this code in 2 months using $5.6 million and not billions when we can't? And they are sitting there at a disadvantage. They are handicapped due to the sanctions. So they do not have the latest and greatest NVIDIA chipset. They're using an old chipset, but they're still able to squeeze the hell out of it and get a ton out of it. That's just, unbelievable to me. Now, the other side to this, besides how great this is, which it really is, and now that the code is open, everyone can read it, you know that a lot of US companies are going to see that information and say, you know what, we're going to adapt this into our AI. That's what ends up happening. So why is the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party, doing this? I don't know. But they are. All right. And there's got to be a reason, because they don't do it just for nothing. Same thing, TikTok. Do you think that they do the whole TikTok thing and just make it free for everyone to use and not use you as the data point? Absolutely. Your information is being used all the time. Now, I also talked about TP-Link just recently, whereas the TP-Link routers might be banned in the US. Why? Once again, those routers are controlled by the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party, and they can definitely put backdoors in it and all kinds of other stuff to perform some DDoS attacks, some denial of service attacks, and all kinds of other things. So those routers might be banned. And the same thing that's holding true here with DeepSeek. They might end up banning it, just like they might ban TikTok. The president put a reprieve on the TikTok ban for, 75 days or something. What ends up happening with these people? I don't know. The one thing is it is open source, so you can see what's in it. But, and this is where the big but happens, is that just because they show you the code, that doesn't mean that they don't force feed something nefarious in there on the back end. They can do that very, very easy. And remember, this application actually logs your keystrokes. Everything that you type, it is being recorded. People are like, well, what the heck do they need to do? They don't need to do that at all, but they are. So why are they doing that? That means anything. So if you like logged into your bank and you put in your password, for example, guess what? That password is logged. They have it. Or the sites that you go to or where you don't go to and the things that you search for and what you don't search for, what you do. They know exactly who you are with those keystrokes. How you use your device, they know. The same thing holds true with TikTok. So this is a major, major concern. So the question is, do you allow that or how can you prevent it? That is the question. And I don't know if there's an answer to that. You probably can't. The bottom line is it's run by the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party. So what are you going to do? Now, I know some of you guys are going to be like, Joe, I'm going to still get the app. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to open it and I'm going to use it. And then when I'm done with it, I'll just close it and go and do the rest of my stuff. And I won't type in anything that I don't want them to know about. The problem with that is, and people don't understand, is that most people will have a ton of apps open. I'll go over to my mom and I'll be like, Mom, let me see your phone. I'll look at it and I'm doing this thing. And I'm closing literally 10, 20, 30, 40 apps that are still open. Well, all of those apps that are open in the background could be doing key logging. People don't even realize it. But yes, if it's still running, it could be doing key logging. That's a big problem. And you don't even think about it. Now, other people will be like, okay, I'm good. All right, I'm going to just close it completely. Does that help? Yes, it does. But there are ways to have a persistent background service going on. Now, are they able to inject that into the code? Maybe. There is also a lot of nefarious or malicious advanced techniques that you can use to do a lot of stuff behind the scenes and cloak it, cover it up so you can't see it. So you don't know that it's there. Even if you're looking at the code, you don't know what you're looking at, or it's just something that gets injected in whenever they want to, like a backdoor. The bottom line here is, the way I look at it, is DeepSeek is an amazing application. And our folks here in the US need to take heed of it and say, listen, what the hell are we doing? How is it that these people could come up with something very similar to what we have, and in most cases, or in many cases, better, on a shoestring budget, literally for 5.6 million compared to billions, 5.6 million compared to billions, and within 60 days. Not years, 60 days. Anyways, what say you? I want to know what you think. I think that the software itself is unbelievably amazing, but it really scares me to download it and use it on my phone or on any device. And the reason being is I don't want to be spied on. I don't want something to be injected into my device and then later on I don't even know it's there. And that's what happens a lot of times, especially with Windows. Windows has malware, like Windows is malware. That's why I'm using Linux. But besides that point, Windows has a lot of things that get injected into it, especially through browsers, through email, all kinds of different ways. And then they just lay dormant there until they get activated, and then all of a sudden, boom, you end up with a problem, right? Anyways, what say you? What do you think about this DeepSeek? What do you think about OpenAI? What do you think about Meta? ChatGPT over there, and of course you got Google. What do you think about all of these in comparison to what is going on over there in China? I mean, I look at it as they're eating our lunch right now, and it is definitely apparent, easily seen in our stock market. Anyways, guys, down below, I want to hear from you. Many thanks for being here. Give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to share it, subscribe, do all of that stuff. And finally, head over to my website, JCristina.com, where you can find all the photography tools I've invented for you and me over the many years, and my merch and my tees and my shirts and my books and everything else. Check them out. Go to JCristina.com. And if there's something there that you like, pick it up and help support me and my family. Many blessings to you and your family. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay connected, and we'll see you in the next one. Love you all.